So as you're driving around, you ever get stuffy? It is allergy season, and apparently there's stuff living in our cars which is making us stuffy and making those allergies even worse. Frank Leutz from Desert Car Care of Chandler is here with some interesting advice. You have some fish sitting out over here. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yes.
But allergies, cars, there's a link there.
There's a big problem. You know, some of the nastiest air that you could be breathing is from the inside of your cab. So you want to make sure that you change out your cabin air filter. We're going to show folks here in a minute.
Okay.
Because that cabin air filter is what's designed to block out all those pollens and dust mites and so on. So, yeah.
That's the stuff that I need your help with. But there are a couple things we can do on our own, just at the car wash or with a vacuum.
Absolutely. So the first thing is you may have some of this debris, this leaves and debris up by the cowl area. That slowly is going to go inside into the air box, the ventilation, and over time that's going to really cause problems with the air that's being filtered into the cab.
And you say important to do simple things, vacuuming, wiping off the dashboard.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, what I got to tell you, this is something that a lot of folks don't know. I'm going to show folks. This is what the clean side of an evaporator should look like. If you're traveling around with pets and you're not vacuuming, over time, look at that. That's pet hair that's going to get sort of attached to this evaporator, and that's going to cause some smells, and also over time can reduce the airflow that you get.
Do I need your help to clean that, or can I do that on my own?
Well, you can vacuum, obviously, you can do that on your own. This guy
like
here,
that.
over time, if you're letting that inside of the cab go, no. Eventually, that's gonna cause damage to the evaporator, and that's gonna be a mechanic that's gonna take care of that. Yeah.
Take it to Frank. Okay.
You know, the other thing too is we talk about these cabin air filters. Look at that. That's the air that you're breathing, and all those pollen and dust mites are getting captured. That's one guy there. This is a cabin air filter smelling like fish. Oh my goodness. Now this guy here, I got to tell you, this was a client that came in the garage, had no clue about a cabin air filter, and this guy had been in there for a good 30,000 miles.
I was going to say, how long does it take to accumulate this kind of mess?
Well, this one is pretty old.
Yeah.
I always tell folks, especially if you're asthmatic, you may want to change this out every oil change, but rule of thumb is once a year, every 15,000 miles. Because, man, that's accruing, and that is the nastiest thing that you're going to be breathing. We don't need that. Now, I've got another tip. This is really key. I've actually taken this. This is underneath the dash. You cannot see it. Now, what will happen is folks will complain about a really musky odor in their vehicle, okay? And what will happen is those leaves and debris that get stuck on the cowl end up inside this air box. You can see where this cabin air filter kind of hangs out. So with all these leaves and debris, that'll end up in here. So what'll happen is this drain tube, you ever see condensation on a humid day, right? It's dripping water from your car. That's very normal. These leaves get stuck in here. And guess where that water is sort of pooling? Inside this box. And what does water pooling mean? Well, it's gonna mean stagnant odors, stagnant water. So what a mechanic will do, it's really simple, okay? Or perhaps
just a
if
hanger?
well, absolutely. So on the firewall of the vehicle, what a mechanic will do, or if you're feeling brave and bold on a Sunday morning, you can actually come in here with a hanger, kind of swoop it up the firewall in the back area of that engine bay and actually pull these leaves out just like this.
So really that could be a quick, easy fix.
It can be.
In most occasions, musty smell,
absolutely.
you guys might know.
And sometimes this water that's pooling inside this evaporative case will actually start dripping on your floorboard, on your carpet on the passenger side. So really easy tips. You don't want any of that water pooling because that stagnant water is really where you get all that smell and nasty odor.
And one other thing you said is super easy. We hear about dust mites living in our beds in our homes, but they live in the seats and everything in the car.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I didn't think about that, but of course it makes sense.
So you really want, there's all kinds of deodorizers and things like that, but just once a week, vacuum out the inside of your cab, keep it clean, a little spring cleaning, because certainly it's either this or this. That's what we're talking about.
Chef Dad's here later. He could have done something with that.
Give our chef some competition.
Right.
So
Frank Leutz from Desert Car Care Center of Chandler. Thanks as always for those tips. Nice
Happy
to see you.
Easter.
I'm not going to shake your hand.
We're not going to shake. There we go.
Right. See you after this break, you guys. Back right in a moment.